me for the YouTube subscribers. Go subscribe already. Hit the fucking like button and subscribe before I knock your ass out, man. I ain't fucking with you, man.
We are live from Newport Beach, California, guys. UFC 268 over here in my hotel room. As you can see, a nice boutique hotel staying right on the water, right on the beach. Nice view of the pier. I've just been in Laguna Beach for the past 3 nights. Lovely place. It's probably one of the nicest places I've been in the United States, at least. Definitely very scenic. Tons of things to do around, great shops as well, great looking people. It was great there to spend some time. I'll definitely be back. I loved it there, and I like it here as well in Newport. A little cloudy today. I tried to give you guys a view of the beach and the water. You might be able to hear it in the video here. Don't mind the mic. I don't think it's the best quality mic. Hopefully you can hear me okay, though. I don't have my nice mic because I'm not at home. But this will do. I'm on the road, so I'm still making it happen. Excited for this card, guys. I couldn't take the week off. It was a fight. If it was a fight night week, like a shittier card, I may have. But it's a big card, so I had to discuss it. Have to give you guys some breakdowns, free plays. I'll be going over the main card like usual for you guys. A quick recap from last week's card. We're not going to go over everything, but Jan, right? That was the miss. Everything else pretty much right on the main card for you guys. If you enjoyed the free plays. I had a couple decisions that I lost. Small unit plays. I was heading very nicely into that Jan fight. I had Peter Jan and Jan Blachowicz in a 2-fight parlay as my best bet on the week. And Jan didn't show up. His game plan was terrible, I thought. He just didn't look into the fight. I thought something was wrong. He let Glover dictate the fight right away. Glover controlled the fight. He was able to take him down easily than I thought. I didn't think Jan could be taken down that easily. And then he looked chinny, Jan. So this is stuff I haven't seen from him. Maybe years and years ago, but not on this big run. So it was very tough to see. Very tough to see. I didn't expect that. That's going to happen, right? You're going to have... I liked mostly favorites on the card, which doesn't always work out. In this case, it almost did. But I just had a hard time seeing Glover winning this fight, and he won. So, kudos to him. 42 years old now and winning the belt on his second shot. You got to love it. You got to love the story, right? No weekly updates, guys, in all sports. I haven't updated my graphics and everything since I've been enjoying the sun and the vacation. Visit my website for updates. I was able to update that and send out my weekly updates to my subscriber and clients like I always do. Back to normal next week, guys. Here's a message from my friend Meredith.
Guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Let's get right into the card, guys. Shop around, right? Like I always mention, shop around for best prices. 2 title fights to look at, 3 other intriguing fights. So let's get right into it. Usman minus 330 versus Covington plus 260. I didn't think it would get this high, but hey, it's high for a good reason. Usman just he looks unstoppable right now, guys. Where he looked beatable last time was against Colby Covington. Covington gave him the best fight that he had in years. Some say Colby Covington was up 3-1 in that fight, and then he got finished by Usman late in that one. Usman went into that fight wanting to brawl with Colby Covington. He wanted to prove a point. He just does not like the guy, and he wanted to stand in there and bang and just brawl. I think he'll come in with a little smarter game plan here. Because, Usman got hurt in that fight, too. His face was beat up as well. I think he's going to obviously use more of his skills, his movement, his jab. Obviously, that jab will be key here. Just working with Whitman has really got him to the next level. And now Colby, obviously, MMA Masters full-time now. A much smaller gym, but he mentions that he gets more time and they focus more on him, which he's obviously the biggest name there, right? So he hasn't been as active. Colby, that obviously concerns me, the activity, just waiting for this rematch, talking a ton of shit while doing so. while waiting. But at the same time, he's training for that one guy. He's training for Usman all this time. So, I expect this obviously to be a good fight, a competitive fight. But at the end of the day, Usman, I have a very hard time betting him, even when I see a plus 260 with a tough guy like Colby Covington. It's hard for me to get to Colby in this fight just because of his opponent, right? The plus 260 is appealing, is attractive, and that's why I think they have it at this price, because you will see Colby money coming in. I just cannot get there. I just don't see where he's better anywhere versus Usman. That's the problem here. Usman, I just think, is a bit better everywhere. So when he's a bit better everywhere, it's hard to pass on the champ here, the best pound-for-pound fighter active in the UFC right now. Minus 330, no, I won't be betting that straight. I'll find a way, either two-fight parlay or an outcome. However, outcome's tough here. I lean the decision prop. I don't know if Colby Covington is going to get knocked out twice, but I also didn't see a KO against Jorge Masvidal. So, outcome is tough. I lean the decision prop, but I do think Usman carries that belt for a long time, continue his winning ways. But I think this is another dogfight, another great fight. You can't miss this one. I think Colby gets it done. I think Usman gets it done. Can't wait for this one, guys. That's going to be exciting. Another fight I'm looking forward to in the rematch. Another rematch, guys. This is the battle of the rematches. In MSG, I forgot to mention, this is in New York, guys. I forgot to mention that at the top. Excited for that. It's in New York. It's always a bigger event, it seems, when it's in New York. Thug Rose here, minus 105 versus Wei Li, minus 115. This line may have moved. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure action will be coming on Thug Rose, so it probably has moved. Definitely take a look at that match because these are mostly opening lines and lines from generic book. I don't expect a quick KO here, guys. I don't expect another fight like last time. I'm sure that's I wouldn't say common sense, but I'm sure most of you think that as well. It's not going to be a quick head KO finish or a knockout finish in the first round. I can almost guarantee that. I can see this fight going deep. It might not go all five, but I can see this fight going deep. And Wei Li's path here, I get it. I expect her to come back more focused. I expect her to come back and win and try to obviously switch it up here and not try to just stand and bang. And that's what she needs to do, in my opinion. And that's why I think she went over to Henry Cejudo and Arizona to train, right? Mainly focusing on that grappling and wrestling and trying to win there against Thug. I think is her game plan. I think she could be maybe a bit stronger than her. And I think she's going to be able to grapple with Rose if she decides to go there. I think if it's just a stand and bang fight, Rose, her movement is just incredible. In and out, jab, stick, in and out. These Trevor Whitman fighters are hard to bet against. I just can't bet it. You give me a nice price like this with Thug Rose, sign me up. Sign me up with a Thug Rose play here. It's just Wei Li's path, I personally think, is try to grapple and get this in maybe to the ground. I think that would be her path here instead of trying to stand and bang. It didn't work the first time. Wei Li got caught in that first fight, and it happens. I'm sure it won't happen again. I'm sure she's going to be game planning so it doesn't. And I think she's going to approach this fight a little different. She had some excuses going into that fight. I don't know how much I believe them, but we'll see. I do expect a much better effort from her. But I do think Rose pulls it off either with a late stoppage or a decision. I think it could go either way there, but I do think Rose get it done. And you don't have to really look at an outcome when you're not 100% sure, when the price is this low. Right, when it's even money, minus 105, whatever the price is now, minus 110, minus 110, you don't have to, take a guess on an outcome when you really don't know how the fight's going to go. Those you have to, in like the Usman fight, the minus 330, you want to be laying that. So if you can find an outcome, great. But again, tough fight to call an outcome. I like Thug here. Free play for you guys. Wei Li does have a path, though. She does have a path, and it is to grapple and use her strength. I do think she's a stronger out of the two, but will she decide to grapple? Next fight here, it's a fun one. It's a fun one, and a fight that, I don't see it going all three, just because these two are going to be coming out firing. I expect a fast-paced fight here. Gaethje, obviously, here minus 200 versus Chandler plus 170. Definitely some value there with Chandler. I think it's a little higher than I thought. This is a fight I just don't see making the judges. Justin doesn't like Chandler for some reason. He's been talking shit about him. He just doesn't like the guy. I don't know if that's just trying to build him up for the fight or, if he actually doesn't like the guy. I expect him to come out with some power shots, avoid any wrestling, and try to keep it standing. When both guys are good wrestlers, it usually cancels each other out and they decide to just stand and bang. Would I love to see these two grapple and try to wrestle? Sure. Sure, it'd be entertaining to see who, just like Usman and Covington, I would love to see wrestle. You don't see it, though. It cancels each other out. I'd love to see it, though. Hopefully it does get to that at some point. Both guys have power in their hands, could knock each other out. And, I can see both guys coming out aggressively to try to get that KO. Now, you could see a more, subtle approach at the start from both guys. When Trevor Whitman is your coach, he's going to tell you to work the jab. He's going to tell you to go in and out, not to try to, knock the guy's head off. So that's something to look at here. I like Gaethje here at that. I don't love the price, but I like Gaethje to win the fight. I would have to lean the KO. I'd have to look the KO way. But I do think Gaethje finds a way to get this done. Chandler, obviously, we've seen him last time get finished. I do think he could be a little chinny. And if you're getting hit by Gaethje, one of the hardest hitters in the UFC, you can go down pretty quick. So, I expect Gaethje to get this done. Don't shy away from, throwing him in a 2-fight parlay as well. Chandler does have a path. We've seen Gaethje, lose some big fights when he's getting into them. So it's definitely not a lock. It's definitely not, Gaethje's straight bet at this price. But it would be a smaller unit play for me. Frankie Edgar is back. Yes, Frankie Edgar fighting at MSG. What else can you ask for? That's perfect, right? Plus 150. You're getting some value there too versus Vieira. Minus 175. A little pricey for him. It's probably one of the better fighters he's fought. Minus, of course, Aldo, and then he lost that fight. Is Frankie on his way out's the question. He's been around for years. You guys know that. Is this his time? Is he on his way out? And I think this fight will say. And this fight will tell a lot. He lost 3 out of his last 4. However, it's against killers. It's against the top of the top, right? Sandhagen. He beat Frankie Munoz in between there, and then he lost to Korean Zombie and Holloway. Top of the top, right? Top of the food chain guys. So this is a step down for him. This is a step down fighting Cheeto. I just think it's not a good matchup for him, how Cheeto fights. Cheeto is as tough, if not tougher, than Frankie. Impossible to finish, in my opinion. Never seen that happen. I don't think it will happen. We've seen Edgar obviously get finished his last time out versus Sandhagen. Vieira is not known for finishes, though. Vieira is more of a point guy, decision fighter. So, if anything, I do think this goes decision. I don't love laying a minus 175 with Vieira against a vet like Edgar. You never know what can happen. But, if neither guy's getting finished here and it goes to the judges, I just think I see more grittiness and more output from Vieira. And I think Marlon does get this win here. So you look at the decision prop, you obviously get that at plus money. So that's probably the way to look in this fight instead of avoiding that minus 175, which I don't love. So I'll have a sprinkle on the outcome in this fight, and I expect this fight to go to the distance. Fun way to open up the main card, guys. Fun way to open up the main card. Shane Burgos minus 195 versus Billy Q, plus 165.